We are running a Hungarian channel, and we just like the Starship program and the topic, just like you do. So we are trying to bring some cool facts, and we're gonna talk about what is the nearest and dearest to our heart. So, what we gonna talk about it today, David?
Yes, so since there are daily Starbase update shows, maybe we will talk about about general things instead. So since not too much happened from yesterday, of course this show would be a bit short if we would just cover everything what's going on from yesterday. And that's why we talked about the topics, and we will talk about a bit about Blue Origin, so Blue Origin lawsuit
Blue
against
what? Sorry.
SpaceX.
Blue what?
Blue what? Jeff Who? Yeah. So yeah,
Um,
there will be this scope topic. Of course, we will talk about the different areas of the Starbase. So we won't leave Starbase at all, but it will be a very quick update. What's going on right now, and then this Blue Origin thing. Then in general about the Tower 2, what we know about, and maybe a bit about S30, about this ablative layer and so on. So, and of course we are waiting for your questions. So if you have them, then please don't hesitate to write us. And if you just tag us in the chat, then we can follow up everything easier. So yeah, that's for us.
Before we continue, definitely we would like to highlight that there is a 24/7 stream,
Yeah.
so you can watch What About It day and night. So definitely bookmark it and go and check back what's going on live at the Starbase. Also, there are these new space roundup talks, so it's more or less happening daily. We will see how it's panning out, but definitely there is some good attention to it. There is a young group of guys. They are coming and talking about their passion about this amazing program, what's going on, and they are bringing all the details to you. Also, that's besides the 2 episodes that Felix is making for you every week, Tuesdays and Fridays. So stay tuned, subscribe. We are welcoming everybody who is subscribing to this channel, just like Vben did earlier on. Hi, Vben, welcome to Daydream channel membership. So, okay, so let's not talk around it. Let's see what's happened at Messi's first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a quite fresh thing because yesterday evening there was a road delay from midnight until 3 a.m. in the morning, and maybe the most of the people thought that maybe booster 12 will be running or rolling out from Mega Bay 1 to the OLM, so the orbital launch mount. But instead of it, actually S31 has been rolled out to the MESSIS. So not exactly the same direction, but totally different direction. But of course, yeah, it's a nice thing because S31 will be having a nice static fire soon on the new test stand, which has been actually designed for ship static fires. So the boosters won't be able to have the static fires there. They will do it. I mean, SpaceX will do the static fires for boosters still on the orbital launch mount, but from a couple of weeks ago. Maybe you remember S26 debut on the test stand. So S26 has been static fired first time in the history, not only SpaceX, but the MESSIS history, on this new test stand. And now as kind of operative or actually a prototype S31 will be static fired as well. We don't know when, because we don't have of course the SpaceX won't need any road delays or road closures for MESSIS tests. That's a big advantage for them. So there will be actually no information about the static fire. If we just see in the right time, in the right place, the 24/7 stream, then maybe we will be eyewitnesses for this test. But yeah, there is no information when this static fire can happen. Maybe in the next couple of days. I assume still this week. So
yeah. Also, let's point out that S26 had a successful static fire, which was very good, and that was a good sort of feedback for the whole test stand and this new facility that they built in the MESSIS. So that's definitely a huge step forward for the future testing. Yeah. Are they ever going to have the facility for the booster tests, do you think, at MESSIS?
At MESSIS, no, because booster static fires needs much more infrastructure, much more defense lines, if I can say that. So it needs from everything a bit much more.
Yeah.
So much bigger flame trench, much bigger tests, and much bigger actually area to do these things. So that's why I mentioned before that only for ships this static fire test stand is practical. And yeah, I can't see that SpaceX has the plan to make it in the future MESSIS as a booster test area as well, because if they can divide so boosters on the launch site and ships on MESSIS, then I guess it's much easier for them as previously. So maybe they will be satisfied with this situation.
Yeah, there's a question we have in the chat. Don't they need to cryo 31 first? So cryo test, it means that they are filling up with either liquid nitrogen, most likely, right?
They had it actually. To be honest, I don't remember the exact date currently, but I'm sure that S31 had a cryo test before
Already.
And so after that they moved it back to the high bay. Then the Raptors were set up, and now they just went or moved back to the test stand, and with the nice 6 new Raptors they can have the static fire now, or not now, but in the next days.
Okay. I think we're done with MESSIS.
Yes. We can move to the production side.
Okay.
Perhaps we won't have too much to see, but maybe you know that the tower segments are already waiting to be stacked, but there is no sign to rolling the first of the segment to the launch site yet, because but we will talk about the tower to at the launch site. Just to mentioning that still the tower segment still waiting at the Sanchez site. And the last two segments have arrived a couple of days ago with the new chopstick arms and the carriage. So they are not moved to the Sanchez yet, but every part or every segments of the new tower and the new chopsticks are in Texas. That's for sure.
Hmm. So
And
the whole
currently,
second tower is now at Starbase,
yeah,
near Starbase.
somewhere around or at the Starbase, every segment we can find. But currently there are 7 segments at the Sanchez and 2 segments at the at Port Brownsville with the chopstick things. So the chopstick arms and the carriage, yeah, as I mentioned.
There's a question. Potato in Canada is asking, are those VABs, vehicle assembly units? Well, we call them high bays or bays, and there are high bays and mega bays. They are beautiful buildings. Every day, Tim Dodd, the everyday astronaut, was invited by Elon Musk not too long
Yeah,
ago to walk around, and they actually walked inside Mega Bay 1, and it's a gigantic building. It's huge. It's swallowing a couple of
enormous.
boosters easily. Yes. So
Yeah, so
they are fantastic. Yeah.
and we just can't imagine how big these things are because
No, no.
we should be there that just look up, oh my god. Because
Actually,
of
we
course, yeah.
we've been there in 2022, and only High Bay was in
Yeah,
existence, and they were building Mega Bay 1, I think, if I
I
remember
guess
well,
they
or
just
maybe not.
started it.
They started it. Yeah.
They have just started to build Mega Bay 1. So Mega Bay 2, there wasn't anything of it.
Hmm.
And there was still the mid bay, there was still the low bay. There were still the onion tents. So 2 years ago, the Starbase looked so different, like
Yeah,
right now.
totally. But what I wanted to say is that we were just standing very near where those second stages, the ships are, and it doesn't do justice. I think you are still at a distance, and it's still not like you are actually inside. I think it's the same feeling than if you've ever been to Florida and if you see the real VAB, and it's still not doing you justice. People tell me who've ever been inside, because it's just so huge, so large. Unless you are inside, it's not giving pictures. They don't do justice. It's simple.
Yeah. So yeah, currently at the production site, there are not much happenings. So yeah, Star Factory is ready. Or I mean, the shell is almost ready, but the interior there are still to do. Maybe you have seen, as mentioned, Sabi mentioned, the team walk around, and yeah, there are much things to do. But maybe they will operate the whole enormous hangar maybe in October, or I don't remember
Yeah,
what Elon said.
mentioned
Somewhere
three
around
months.
autumn.
So in,
3
in
months.
three
Yeah,
months, things gonna be in place, and probably
yeah.
they can start some sort of
Mm.
production inside. Yeah,
What you mentioned, yeah,
that's crazy.
the parking lot is almost done as well. So yeah, actually the production site looking uh, as its best, as I can tell. So
I think for the
yeah,
first time, it looks like a real rocket factory.
exactly.
It's
Professional.
unbelievably, absolutely clean. What I really liked in Tim's walk around in Star Factory is how tidy it is. I do remember a couple of years back, people were saying when this facility was tiny and a couple of onion tents and maybe low bay existed,
Mhm.
and we saw them welding in the dirt. People said that
Yeah.
it's never ever going to become something meaningful. And hey ho, take a look at it right now. It just blows your mind. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I would ask the people who have blamed SpaceX that time that what are they actually thinking, that how could they build the biggest, the best the biggest and the strongest rocket ever built in the humankind history. So what are they doing? And just take a look right now. So it's as Sabi mentioned, it's a real rocket factory now. So maybe that people they have argued before, maybe they would be silent now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, let's see what's going on in the launch site.
Yeah, maybe that's the most buzzing area nowadays. And
I think the most important side about that, or the most important thing, is what we don't see anymore.
yes, so that's the end of an era. Yeah.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
the vertical orbital tank farm is gone.
Is
You
officially
won't.
gone
It's
now.
officially gone. Maybe the last couple of parts of the last tank is still there, but actually, what we have seen, maybe almost 3 years, then everything is gone. But
Yeah.
maybe that was the best solution for SpaceX because yeah, they had a guess that why don't try to build vertical because they didn't have too much play or too much place that time. They had a guess, and yeah, they were
A
wrong.
pretty wrong one. A pretty wrong one. Let's be
Yes,
honest.
but that's development. That's development because not only Starship developed itself, but not itself, but SpaceX hasn't developed only Starship, but the whole stage zero. So it includes, of course, the tank farm, the launch site itself. So that's the learning. That's the learning curve, as they say.
Absolutely, absolutely. It was a major limiting factor.
Yeah.
Not limiting factor, but definitely it had an impact on the launches, on the previous launches, and how the assessment was done around it. Because they definitely had some significant damages during a couple of launches, and I know, don't get me wrong. Anybody should not get me wrong. I'm not trying to pretend I'm a rocket engineer. I'm by definition
Me neither.
far away from that. But the good thing is that they admitted officially that that was a total mistake, to actually use the same structure as what they use for starships, and why not build the tanks, what is required for the fuel farm, tank farm, sorry. But then they realized that putting them vertically there is just a bad idea, and I think they couldn't wait to get rid of them and finally go with the usual hot dog um, tanks.
Yeah. So
And
these
finally
bullet
now,
tanks, as they say. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and finally they are not affected by any of the launches anymore. So yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, so this nice crane, SpaceX crane, has nothing much to do right now, but of course they can use it for future plans or future tasks. So it won't be dismantled yet. But yeah, for now the launch site is a bit different looking like. Uh, yeah, so maybe that was the vertical tank farm topic, and we can move to the OLM for a bit because yeah, I guess there were topic in the previous episodes about this slapping test for the B14.1 prototype. Yeah, it's it maybe it was the most or the strangest test in the rocket history, but yeah, that's how SpaceX tests and moving going forward. So yeah, actually they are planning, maybe 100% sure that they try to catch the booster 12, booster 12 on flight 5. But of course, it's nice to see that they try to test as much as they can before actually with the current booster would try to coming back and have been catched by the chopsticks. Yeah, I don't say that it doesn't have any risk, but maybe they have a bit more confidence and a bit more data about this catching process. and I'm very curious what will how does it or how it will going, because on one hand booster 12 has to be very precise, on the other hand chopstick has to be precise as well, because anything goes wrong then it will be a big bugaboo.
I don't know. I'm the usual suspect when it comes to being a little bit skeptic about this whole thing. In the meantime, can you think about a possible launch date? Snowman is asking. But before that, let me express my usual skepticism. I think they admitted that the chopsticks are just way too long. So taking that into account, and the fact that yes, flight 4 booster landing was amazing, we don't know how accurately amazing it was. One engine was out on the descent, or actually on the landing. um, I don't know. I don't know. I think so. They're gonna use. It's very important to highlight that they are going to use the same profile, similar profile, sorry, than what they are applying with the Falcon 9 boosters. So they are gonna aim for the ocean or sea or yeah, ocean,
The
and
Gulf,
then.
yeah.
Yeah, and then the last moment, if they find every data all right, they're gonna steer it toward the launch pad. It's not landing onto the OLM. It's very important to highlight. So it's landing next to it, and there will be minimum amount of fuel left in the tanks. So if there's a kaboom, it won't be a huge kaboom.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's gonna come very slow. So I'm still skeptic about it. I think they're just doing it too early. But I guess if they wouldn't try it, they wouldn't be SpaceX. So nobody is really surprised about the fact that they are actually. It looks like they are about to give it a try. We will see. I hope it's gonna happen, and I'm more than happy to be wrong. We will see. We will see.
Yeah, but when? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the good
possible
question.
date. Yeah, give it a guess.
I'm almost sure that it won't happen in July, but maybe it can happen in the beginning of August. So early August, I would say that first 2 weeks. How about you, Sabi? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. August definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends actually on S30, because it on S30 they have the biggest and much things to do with the heat tiles. I mean the heat shield change actually. So yeah, it takes a long time even for SpaceX. So what's a good thing and the good news for SpaceX, that actually this OLM what we can see right now, and of course the chopsticks itself or themselves, they didn't need so much maintenance and refurbishment as previous times. So the the very the things what they have done before Flight 4, actually the advantage they have the advantages right now, and because they've put even bigger and even stronger plates and everything on OLM before Flight 4, and we can see that actually the Starship has not had not so big impact on the OLM and on the chopsticks as before. Yeah, the SQD arm, so the ship could disconnect arm needed a bit refurbishment, but it was only a couple of hours work, and they have done it yesterday, if I'm correct. So actually, it's everything is operating or would be operating if the launch would happen in the next days, but of course it won't
Um,
happen.
let's
So
go through.
what?
Let's go through what is required for the launch. So
Yeah,
they need
okay.
to roll out B12
Yes.
definitely, and they need to test it, right?
Yeah, that's the one. At least one static fire is needed. Then actually,
Do
I
you think they're
guess
gonna roll it back? They need to roll it back.
yes, they will roll back B12 after the static fire or fires. We'll see how many tests are gonna happen. So yeah, for last touches, Booster 12 will be moved back to the Mega Bay 1, and they will prepare for the launch itself, actually. And after that, B12 will be coming back, hopefully for the last time, to the OLM. After that, Ship 30 has to be, of course, finished before, but
Any test required with Ship 30?
no, they have static fired even before Flight 4. So they have prepared it earlier, and that's a good thing as well. Maybe they can. That's why they can short the period of time between Flight 4 and Flight 5. So that's the other good point for SpaceX. So Booster 12 static fire, Booster 12 last preparations, rollouts,
So roll
stacking.
back, last preparation, rolling back again to the launch site.
Yeah, both stages, so Booster 12 and Ship 30. Then stacking, I guess there will be at least one address rehearsal, and I guess that's all. Of course, there will be a destacking because of the flight termination system, and then SpaceX will see actually are they ready to launch or not. And of course, as always, we have to wait for FAA, but not in that way as previously, because maybe remember that FAA had a statement after Flight 4, and it's a good thing. That's the third good thing before Flight 5, because they will be not so strict. I mean, FAA will be not so strict with the launch license for Flight 5, and it will remain until Starship has not so big impact for any safety reason. And that can also make faster this preparation process for the Flight 5, and that's why I'm a bit more optimistic that Flight 5 can happen in around 1 month.
And let's not forget the gigantic work they need to do with Ship 30, the resurfacing, so redoing the whole heat tile system. It looks like they don't need to put all the ablative layer everywhere. So we can see that they are not covering the whole ship. It looks like the nose cone won't get any of the ablative layer. Which is very interesting. So I guess they are finding out now exactly what area. Probably they already know what area they need to focus, and they just putting this new thicker heat shield, heat tiles. So they trying to maximize the success, because during, again, we are pointing back to the team dot walk around. That basically what they are doing is, well, Elon Musk said that this year the only payload for Starship is going to be data. So they are trying to get as much data as possible. They're trying to test the vehicle. They're trying to improve the heat tile system, the way that it can withstand properly the re-entry. And all the flaps gonna be supposed to be stay intact and land more or less precisely to a certain location on the water. And in the case of the booster, hopefully they're trying to catch them. So this year, that's what all the tests are going to be about: precision and improvement, getting rid of all the problems, and basically trying to fine-tune Starship design and going forward to Block 2 and improvement, basically just improvement, all around improvements. And just one more thing, they are highlighting, he was also highlighting that after every flight, they are implementing more couple of thousands or over 1,000 different changes in the hardware. Just the hardware only, not the software, which is crazy.
Yeah, Starship has very much things to do, so it's still in a very early process of the test phase. Yes, so it's even only Block 1. So the first generation of almost orbital starships, and that's why I'm saying almost orbital, because I wouldn't be surprised if these last prototypes of the Block 1 sections, I mean S30 and S31, I don't know what will be the fate of the S32, but maybe it will fly as well. So yeah, let's say at least for 2 flights, they won't try to reach the orbit because they don't know, they don't need it. So
Are you saying they're gonna go Blue Origin?
Oh yes, they will. They will do these suborbital things and then just make this shoulder things of Jeff. Okay, Jeff. Okay, nice,
Alright,
nice.
okay.
Thanks for being the team.
I'm
So
making the bet for the next topic. I'm preparing for the next topic because we're gonna go serious about that.
yeah, so as I mentioned, I wouldn't be surprised if orbital flights won't come until end of the year. So at least for the first Block 2 prototype, maybe S33 or 34. I don't know the number of that exact ship yet. But yeah, as Elon mentioned that they want to have the data about the kind of the orbit or the plasma phase, how ship can survive that phase, and of course the descent phase as well. And for that they don't need actually for have the orbit, because once they want to reach orbit, then they have to make at least one Raptor deorbit burn. But if they fail it, then it will be a big impact for the whole flight process, and the FAA will come back again and asking questions, and maybe SpaceX won't want it, or don't want FAA questions too much of them. So that's
Which
why
is understandable. It's
they will
absolutely acceptable.
yeah, they will risk as minimum as possible. That's why that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Yeah, so Starship is still not an orbital rocket, still not an operating rocket, but as I mentioned, it's in the very, very early test phase yet.
Awesome. Okay, before we move along with the next topic, I would like to point out that
Tower
first
2
of all,
still remained. Tower 2 part.
oh yeah, oh sorry. But before that, still, I would like to point out that that the 24/7 stream has improved lately hugely, because if you see the quality of it is extremely nice. It's really worth following it, because I think the team is working so hard to actually get the best out of it. Yeah, definitely put it on your bookmark and come back and watch it, because it's here 24/7. You can make your way here any time to take a look at what's going on. Yeah. Okay.
Good. So just couple of sentences about Tower 2, but we have already mentioned it. So at the beginning of this host or this show, I mean, yeah, we are waiting for the camera. A bit more to the left, yes. So yes, a very little thing has been built. What and maybe you will know what I'm saying. So this enormous crane, so this CC 1880, I don't know, 88,000. No, 8,800. No, okay, never mind. So it's a big
8800. Yeah.
8,800. Yes, thank you. Okay, so it's already prepared, and it will be doing the stacking area, stacking things and stacking movements. But first, of course, they have to. There's a problem, Sabi, or what's going on?
I'm just muted myself because somebody is doing some work outside and it's
Okay.
knocking. So if I'm away, it's because they are knocking. Anyway, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. So as you can see, the tower base is almost done, but they have scaffolded because actually they have to be prepared for the first tower part to be stacked, and yeah, lots of things happening, and yeah, it's not it's not a joke. They are doing it around the clock. So even in the night, they moving fast forward. because last week there was a bit strange and a bit interesting FAA, so Federal Aviation Administration statement about the crane operations and how big this crane will be, because it matters if there will be a flyover. Then they don't want to hit the top of the crane, of course. And you can see it's already a quite huge crane, but it will be even higher when they are almost finishing this new tower. And maybe this tower 2 will be even higher as the tower 1, so the current operating tower, because already the tower base is bigger. So this concrete base is already bigger as the previous, so the current one, and this
You mean wider,
not
or
wider
just
but higher.
taller? Okay.
Or yes, taller. So and not every segments, but some of the segments are higher or taller as well as the previous ones. And that's why, because they are preparing it for the Block 2 and even for Block 3 Starships, which will be even taller as the current Block 1 prototypes. So the Block 2 will be even with a couple of meters or feet taller as Block 1, so about 52 or 53 meters instead of 50 meters. But the Block 3 will be even higher. But not only the ship will be a bit taller, but the booster itself as well, and that's why they need already now, the higher tower or the taller tower, and that's why they need for the stacking a higher crane as well. So this FAA statement says that I've just prepared it myself. So they mentioned a very interesting date, that this new tower, only the segments will be stacked until 15th of August. So 1.5 months, and tower 2 will be ready. Just think about it a bit.
Just chew it a little bit.
Yeah, chew it a bit. So again, August the 15th, and the tower 2 will be ready.
Wow.
And
But this
as
is
the
tower only. So
only the tower, yeah. Maybe so the structure of the tower, and I don't know what about the new chopsticks. Maybe they won't be on the tower yet, but the structure of the tower will be ready until 15th August the 15th, so 1.5 months later. And this statement says or writes that until June the 27th, the crane will be only 140 meters, and after that, until August the 15th, so from July the 27th until August the 15th, it will be even higher. So they have to make it a bit more longer or taller, because this new tower will be around 180-170 meters tall. So
tell us for the viewers, what is exactly the reason for that? Because there was a hint again at the Tim's video that basically it's accommodating Block 2.
Yes, I mentioned it. Yeah, Block
you
2
have.
and Block
Okay,
3.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's why they need a longer or taller tower for that taller crane. But for now, it's a shorter version of this crane, but it will be extended at the end of July. And for that, this airmen, so the pilots, have to be very careful going around Starbase. Of course, I know there is a flight restriction. I guess 10,000 feet, maybe that's the minimum height. How they can fly over Starbase, but just to make things as
Official.
as safe as possible, they have to make these statements. And yeah, I know it's a bit strange that why FAA, so Aviation Administration, is looking around cranes, but yeah, that's the things how they should go. But at least we know the date when Tower 2 will be finished.
I just try to highlight that the scale of things right there, what we see in the live view, Can you see the SpaceX sign? I tried to be funny saying that it was backwards, so it's a SpaceX sign, and and then just
X
see,
space.
yeah, but just see that the cars and compared to that big ass crane that it's there, it's the sheer size of it, it's really hard to grasp. Or just there was a lorry coming in, and it's a huge lorry, and just look at it. It's dwarfing anything
Yeah.
that's below that crane. It's fantastic.
And it still
Oh,
will be extended, as I mentioned. So
yeah,
it's not the maximum size of this crane yet.
crazy. Also, let's just talk briefly about the new structure of the whole second, not the tower, but all the other infrastructure,
Hmm.
because they are stepping away from the steel plate solution for the water deluge system, and it
Yeah.
looks like this time around they're gonna do it properly.
Yes. So some signs of a new flame trench, and of course a bigger flame trench as what we can see on Messi's. So they started to make this groundbreaking for this flame trench, and yeah,
The
as we
groundwork,
mentioned, pardon,
the groundwork, the proper
yeah, the
preparation
groundwork,
for
yeah.
the groundwork.
So as we mentioned, everything at the first time is a development phase. So not only Starship, but the OLM itself was a development thing, or a prototype thing, if I can say that. And SpaceX has learned very much from this structure, from the operating of this orbital launch mount, or Pad A, as nowadays they mention it. So they learned a lot, and now they have the advantage that they can build it from the very beginning. I mean, this Tower 2 or Pad B, and what they have learned, they will use it actually right now,
They will
and they
implement all the knowledge. Yep.
yeah. So there will be a nice and accurate flame trench for that. But what we are looking forward, how actually this new LM will be looking like, because we don't know anything about it. Maybe they will skip, or they will that just moving from this round or this ring thing, or at least the legs
The
will be looking
OLM.
like.
You mean the
Yes.
OLM?
So
Okay.
maybe this orbital launch table will remain, but the legs under it will be changed as well, because maybe you remember that what they have built in the key
Just
IC. So
sorry,
as yeah.
just before you continue. So hopefully in the live stream, I think Jonathan just zoomed in. So we're talking about that we have. So we have the tower, we have the chopsticks, and under the chopsticks there is the OLM with
Mhm.
the launch table on the
Yeah.
legs, and we're talking about that round shape structure that's gonna change.
Yep.
Just for somebody who doesn't really follow it closely or just doesn't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, because the structure is not so. It has maybe more disadvantages as advantages, because as you can see, they can reach with these cherry pickers, how they nicknamed it. So these crane things. So maybe they will change the structure of itself, not only the table, so not only the ring, but under the legs. So yeah, we'll see how will it look like. A couple of months later, we will be more. We can see more of them, but for sure that we can be sure that the flame trench will be a part of the Pad B, and it's a it's a very good news, because they had, if you remember, for Flight 1, it was it was one of a hell.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, let's admit that they've done a really good structure, a really good design with the steel plate system, with the water deluge system, and it's doing its job ever since. But I mean, it's engineering from an engineering point of view. That was an amazing solution, but maybe it's just easier to build a proper flame trench and off.
Yes.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I would like to point out just just those humans to scale. On the chopsticks, there are two human beings, and again, it's just
Yeah, these
showing.
nice ants.
Yeah, yes, it's just showing that we're talking about huge structures in here. Yeah.
Yeah, but this second chopstick will be shorter, as Sabi mentioned. So this part, what they have arrived a couple of days ago, they are already shorter because now they are swinging or moving too much, so much more as they
Too
want. I
long.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
yeah, they are too
willow.
long, and that's why it has a bit more, how they say, bit more movement as they want to have.
Yeah.
And that's why the second chopstick will be shorter, and I guess the future ones will be following this new structure.
Okay. Anything else to add?
From my side, that was all around
No.
Starbase.
Okay. 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 Let's talk about the final topic. Final topic. Final topic of the day, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
about Blue Origin, who has an intention to actually um, consent, just to file a consent about so-called protecting the environment. They try to protect the environment.
Yeah, good
That's
cover.
the yeah, that's the good cover. Maybe not. So basically, what's going on is they have some concerns. Before we actually bring that up, I would like to share some previous events that has happened. Um, I would say Blue Origin versus or contra SpaceX because they
Sorry
have
for
a
interrupt. Falcon in the air.
Falcon in the air. Oh yeah, okay, okay.
Import
Because
Canaveral.
in the 24/7 live stream,
Yeah.
yeah, that's Port Canaveral. So this is not Starbase. This is Port Canaveral, Florida. And do we know what booster this is? This is for the latest Starlink, isn't it?
Ooh, good question. Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
let me check it.
Yeah,
Continue.
it
Let
can't be the
continue. Sorry.
Falcon Heavy, right?
No, nah. I guess
Since they came home.
it's Starlink Group 10-3, and the booster was be. Oh, that's our famous booster, booster 1062,
1062.
which has the record flight 22.
This is what we've seen, right?
Yeah,
In
that's our
2022.
space. Yeah, that's our famous space junkie booster because
Coolio.
yeah, 2 years ago when we were there at the first on our first day in Florida, we just have seen not the exact not the exact site, but yeah, I guess booster was already put on the from the drone ship to the port,
Yes, yes.
and that's
Okay,
why it's
now they are
our famous
lifting from the
booster.
drone ship
Yeah,
to
they
the
are lifting
harbor.
right now.
Okay, okay.
So it's a famous
But this
booster
is the
from.
record holder,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Mm,
It's a record
22.
holder. It has flown 22 times already. 22 times.
Just think about it for a second. A booster that has flown 22 times, did 22 missions, went to
And not
space, came back. I mean,
not
wow,
so long ago, maximum 10
wow.
times would have Falcon
Yeah.
9 flown, and just look at it, 22.
Wow. 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 It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, we're gonna come back to this because in the next topic, what I just started, Falcon 9 gonna pop up for a second. So basically what happened, so there was there is a massive race going on between Blue Origin and SpaceX. Some might wonder exactly how is it possible, because if you assume that how come that there's a company who actually never been to low Earth orbit and actually is disrupting the whole development of multiple projects. So this is about the use of Kennedy Space Center. Sorry, the whole Cape Canaveral and how the workflow is going to unfold in the future and how much of an impact SpaceX is going to have for this amazing historic site. But I would like to start with the HLS program, the Artemis program, and with the HLS development, the human landing system, because what happened basically is that HLS blocked basically the developments of the Artemis program. So in April 2021, both Blue Origin and Dynetics filed basically a formal protest with the U.S. government accountability office, claiming that NASA had improperly evaluated aspects of the proposal. So in the same months, NASA suspended the Starship HLS contract and funding, and basically they had to wait all the way till July 2021 when GO, what's the GO? I always forget the.
Government Accountability Office.
Thank you. So basically, they rejected the protests and found that NASA did not violate procurement law in awarding the contract to SpaceX, who bid a much lower cost and more capable system. So in August the same year, 2021, Blue Origin filed a lawsuit again in the US Court of Federal Claims, challenging NASA's unlawful and improper evaluation of proposals. The judge dismissed the suit in November 2021, and NASA was allowed to resume working with SpaceX. So basically, Blue Origin and Dynetics' bid protests had caused a 4-month delay in the program. And funny enough, basically, about 2 years later, in May 2023, NASA awarded Blue Origin a 3.4 billion contract to develop a competing moonlander, compared to the roughly 9 billion of the original bid that led to the lawsuit. So we already kind of felt like Blue Origin wanted a fair share of the Artemis program, basically. And basically, what was going on is that they just wanted money, they just wanted to be involved. Again, if you see the track record of the two companies, and that was in 2023, and now it's 2024 summer, and New Glenn still has not flown yet. Hopefully this year is New Glenn is yet to.
Hopefully in autumn, yes, around some
I mean,
September.
hopefully
Yeah.
that's gonna happen, but still, they have not completed one
Yeah.
single journey to space. So
On
that's why
orbit,
it's
because to the space, yes, but
well, yeah. I'm sorry, I take it back. Yes, that's right.
careful what how to say it, because
Exactly.
they have reached space so many times, but orbit is a bit other question,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So yeah. So then they came up with this new proposal. Dave, if you wanna talk a bit about it, that exactly what's going on, or
You can continue. You can
yeah,
continue. Maybe
okay.
you can summarize it easier.
Well, we will see. So basically, they are proposing to launch 44 times a year, which is a lot with the Starship, and well, there is a whole documentation about this whole story, and there are some, how can I say, not really accurate information about that. So first of all, they are stating, basically they're stating that the Starship Super Heavy can hold up to an unprecedented 5,200 metric tons of, listen, liquid methane for propulsion. Well, that's not entirely correct, is it?
Fail. It's
That's not.
yeah.
That's the total mass of the vehicle when it's fully fueled, right?
Yes, in even less, the totally fueled. So the totally fueled Starship is 5,000 metric tons itself,
Yeah.
not
So
5,200.
that's including the dry mass of the vehicle. That's including the liquid
Methane,
oxygen. Yep,
yeah,
and the liquid methane. So basically,
everything. Yeah.
and the oxygen is way more than
Yeah.
methane required. So that's just a bit of inaccuracy there. And obviously, they are expressing that they are really, really concerned about the environment, air pollution, so on and so forth. But obviously, they are stating as well that they are very worried about other companies being limited, transportation and activity, basically launching and other required activities that's going to happen related to Starship launches and Starship or SpaceX operations. it's crazy to see that SpaceX is basically a company. I nearly said new company. They are not new company anymore, but they are a company that they brought in from the traditional rocket development. They basically developed a totally new approach where you testing the building the vehicles constantly. You fly them, you break them, and then you learn from it. That's all what's going on, and they are already doing this at Starbase. What the area we were talking about, and now it looks like when they're trying to bring operational vehicle to Cape Canaveral to launch them, they gonna again stepping on the toes of other providers, and they don't like it, and it looks like they are trying to block it hand in hand with ULA because ULA expressed similar feelings. It's hard not to see that we have the old players, and we admire and we admit completely what ULA has done and doing right now. And we have the new player who, by the way, again, never launched anything to low Earth orbit. And basically, they are so far behind, not just with Falcon 9, but with Starship. And we can see the same development sort of structure that's emerging with Starship. It happened the same way with Falcon 9, and it's a very successful rocket. We can see that the cadence of the Falcon 9 rocket is extremely successful. And of course, NASA and maybe military and the government wants it to go forward because it's super successful and it might guarantee the success of Artemis. And by the way, Artemis 3 is relying heavily on Starship. So, very interesting developments.
Yeah. So it would be better if Blue Origin would put something on the table, if I can say that first. So they had so totally strange lawsuits before, so they just want to be close to the fire and want to have a part of the big things or big deals. But first they have to prove that they will be able to actually launch anything, not to the moon, but first on orbit. And without anything so about it, they didn't have any orbital rocket before, and still they don't have. But they are coming up with this terrible lawsuits, which are actually only just because to slowing down SpaceX, because they won't have any big impact for the development on the Starship. But you could see on the first HLS lawsuit that they could slow down not only SpaceX but NASA as well for 9 months. And that's why they have to be in rush right now, because if they want to have the moon landing, I mean Artemis 3 still in autumn 2026, then Starship has to be pretty much in rush. And if Blue Origin hadn't had this lawsuit in 2021, then Starship development and of course HLS development would be even further as is right now. So Blue Origin just actually slowed down everything because of its own interest. But they didn't have any advantage before, or from this, I guess, because New Glenn still didn't have any launch, and they didn't have any contract yet, or just a couple of contracts, because they just have won these big deals from the USSF, so the Space Force, and next, so besides SpaceX and ULA, already Blue Origin will be able to launch with New Glenn some more $100 satellites from more $100 value satellites to orbit. But first,
How many
they
dollars?
have to
Sorry, few hundred.
few million hundred.
Okay.
Few 100 millions. So the whole package or the whole contract package is has a value more 100 millions, but of course not. It doesn't mean that all of the satellites will be will have this value, but for all of in general, make it general, Blue Origin will have a big advantage from it. But first, they have to prove that they can reach orbit with a pretty good rocket. So this is New Glenn, and they have to look around it themselves first, and after that they can sue other companies. And of course, we know that this fight between Bezos and Elon Musk didn't start yesterday, but they have this competition, like, I don't know, 1.5 decades or maybe even longer time. So yeah, I don't know what will be the end of this lawsuit, but it will slow down again this whole thing. And
Nobody knows, I guess.
yeah, so
Um,
it doesn't make any sense from my
don't
side.
don't get us wrong. We're not trying to blame all the delays in Artemis to Blue Origin. Obviously, SpaceX is not proceeding the way they wanted to. They had their own fair share on making mistakes. Hashtag IFT1. In my opinion, they completely rushed it, but that's just me. But definitely, Blue Origin cannot sue itself to space. That's just not enough. But in the chat, there is a comment which I like. Wait a minute, if they sue 5 more times, Blue will get to orbit. Probably, you're
Maybe.
absolutely right, Jamie. Yes, it's not nice. They definitely have no other ways, I don't know, to not improving, but just to hold back the competition, and it's sad to see. But anyway, we just wanted to just to talk about this a little bit because it's not nice what's going on. Not because we call ourselves space fanboys or anything. I mean, on our channel we talk quite a lot when SpaceX is doing something wrong. Again, IFT1 just went way too early. I mean, honestly, what were they thinking to fire the most powerful rocket without any flame trench or any water deluge system? We saw. I mean, again, and I'm not an engineer, but if you, that's one way of digging, definitely, with 33 Raptor engines. But
Yes.
anyway, it's interesting. It's very
Yeah.
interesting, and we will see this story unfolding. Very, very, very interesting. And we would like to see, definitely, we would like to see Blue Origin succeed, because redundancy is important. Having more providers is very important for America.
Competition is a good thing. So of
Exactly,
course we know
exactly.
that SpaceX shouldn't rule the whole market or launch market, because it's it's never a good thing, not only in the rocket industry but in any industry around the world. If one company rules the whole market area, it has only disadvantages for not only the other companies but all the people as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I think that was our Starbase morning talk. Hopefully, we will see you back again very soon. We try to stick with Mondays. Sadly, we had, we had some things coming up yesterday, so we couldn't do it on Mondays. But what in the future we're trying to come and stay on air on Monday morning from 8 a.m. CDT, so Starbase time, and then we will see. Just tell us your feedback. Again, we would like to point out once again, none of us is Felix. Probably you already noticed it. So if you expected Felix, sorry to disappoint you, but there is a good team on What About It right now who are coming here and trying to entertain you whilst you are watching live feeds, basically from Starbase. Again, follow the 24/7 stream because there's a whole tons of work invested into it, and I think it's very nice what you can see. So anytime if you wanna see what's going on in Starbase, that's the way to go. Subscribe to the channel, just give us a like, and yeah, all the good things that you need to do to keep this channel alive. Fundings, Patreon, brand new images all the day. I mean, quite often, every day, every week. So yeah, great stuff. Please stay tuned, and we will be back, and others will be back definitely. Dave, final word.
Yes, stay safe, and hopefully we will see next we will see each other. I can't speak anymore today. So we will see each other next week, hopefully on Monday.
All right, all right. Stay tuned. Best of luck, guys. Have a lovely day, and we see you soon again. Take care. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.
Bye bye.